So the reason for the video and sort of my keeping it real moving into the new year stance, which I've always kept it real, but I've been maybe less transparent back then as I am now. I was doing things in a way that was not to offend anyone, and I was keeping it very PC, and I was trying to build a brand in a way that was probably just very accepted. And now that I'm more comfortable in practice, what I realize is people don't need fluff. They don't need all the fluff. And if they do, then they're not for me, right? I'm not gonna be your doctor if you're gonna need to be humored, if you want me to enable you, or if you want some fluff, or you're looking for a particular answer, which brings me to my point. I made a video and I was very, very wrong in my approach. I said, how you're hurt or why you're hurt doesn't matter. What matters is what you're doing about it now. Obviously, how you got hurt matters. The mechanism of which you got hurt or what you're doing in your life to drive the inflammatory process or the processes of why you have a particular pain or symptom matters. What doesn't matter is maybe the why. That may matter on a deep psychological level at some point for you to deal with, for you to talk to someone about, whoever that person is. You know, that is something that shouldn't be like kept inside. But when it comes to you going to your chiropractor, your physical therapist, your doctor, and you're like, well, how did it all start? You know, it probably matters how it started. It probably matters what you're doing leading up to the reason that you're having this exacerbated symptom or a chronic pain. But the why? I don't know if we're ever really going to know why, unless it's an obvious, mechanical reason that happened. But I do know you can't dwell on it and you need to move on. You need to move on so long as it's understood how it happened, where is the source of the pain, are we dealing with it on a biomechanical, physiologic, neurologic, psychologic level. And then if that's the case, then you can't really sit there and say, why? And besides, a lot of these things are multifactorial. And it's not just going to ever really be one thing. You have to remember that when it comes to a joint injury, right? I'm a chiropractor, so most of the things that I specialize in and what I deal with on a day in and day out basis, and what I'm very comfortable, taking care of, it's joint injury, which includes tendon, disc, ligament, fascia, muscle, bone. I hate saying bone, but the joint, the arthritis, the facet, we just had the arthritis. There are so many, issues in the tissues, and they are related and they're multifactorial. And the thing to really drive home this point is you can understand maybe the underlying mechanism of injury. You can understand how to diagnose it with a physical exam. You cannot sit there and dwell on the why. You have to be able to move on, or it's going to hold you back. And that's my message to those of us, right? For me, what I suffered with and what I still have to deal with. And that's a whole other story, but I'm not going to bore you. I'm not going to just yap about that right now. But that's where we all have to kind of move on from the why, and we have to... Axel, are you serious? We all have to move on a lot from the why and persevere and be proactive and find our way as to how to heal. All right.